Teacher talking sports, what it does, what it do, how we live in. Game 5 of the NBA Finals is tonight, and the Denver Nuggets, if they prevail, will have won their first NBA championship in franchise history. Well, today, HoopsHype came out with an article ranking the players with the most playoff wins and no NBA title. Thought we'd take a look at it. I'll go over the top 10 and then I'll quickly name the other guys they named on here. So, of course, if the Nuggets are to prevail, guys like Nikola Jokic, Aaron Gordon, Jamal Murray, Michael Porter Jr., heck, even Ish Smith, Reggie Jackson, Christian Braun, etc., will not find their way on this list. But these guys never won a ring. Of course, to be on here, you had to have a lengthy career. Probably had to be fairly productive, to last that long in the league. And, unfortunately, despite having some playoff success, we're unable to get over that final hump and winning a championship. So, again, rankings of players with the most playoff wins and no NBA title. Sam Yip of HoopsHype. Let's start. Can't be surprised by this guy here. The mailman, Karl Malone, 98 playoff wins. He actually participated in 193 playoff games. He made back-to-back finals with the Jazz in 96-97. Well, 97 and 98. Of course, both those teams lost to the Bulls. And in his final season, he played with the Los Angeles Lakers, where they reached the finals but lost in 5 games to the Detroit Pistons. When you mention Karl Malone, you often got to bring up John Stockton as well. Stockton is second on this list with 89 playoff wins in 182 playoff games. So he actually has a losing record. Of course, was a member of both of those Jazz teams that I just mentioned made the finals. The difference between him and Malone is Malone ended his career with the Lakers. Again, they reached the finals that year, and John Stockton stayed with the Jazz his whole career. Third, we got Sam Perkins, 88 playoff games in his career. Perkins played 17 seasons in the NBA, reached 3 NBA finals. He reached one with the Lakers in 91, where they lost to the Bulls. Reached one in 94 with the Supersonics. 96 with the Supersonics, where they lost to, again, the Bulls. And in 2000 with the Pacers, where they lost to the Los Angeles Lakers. So 0 for 3 in the finals. Played in a total of 167 playoff games in his career. I remember towards the end of his career, with the Pacers, I'm pretty sure he wore like a bandana on the court. I'm pretty sure the NBA doesn't allow that anymore. Fourth, an active guy, James Harden. Can he be atop this list? Well, if he doesn't win a championship by the time his career is over. Of course, if he goes to Houston, how much will his win total in the playoffs go up? I mean, unless, if the rumors are what they are, saying that there's a decent chance that James Harden goes back to Houston, where he had much success in his career, including winning a MVP, made a NBA Finals early on in his career with the Thunder when he was young, actually was coming off the bench. Later made a couple Western Conference Finals with the Rockets. They were unable to reach the NBA Finals. Fifth, Al Horford, who was in last year's finals with the Boston Celtics, as they lost to the Golden State Warriors. This season, he reached the conference finals. His team won 11 more playoff games, fell one short of the NBA Finals, was on a bunch of successful Atlanta Hawks teams, although only one of them in the 2014-15 season was able to reach the conference finals. Sixth, a name you might be surprised to see on here, Derek McKay. McKay played 15 years in the NBA. His career ended in 2001-02. He was a member of that Pacers team, as I mentioned, for Perkins. Reached the NBA Finals. Had a couple conference finals appearances with the Pacers. Had a conference finals appearance with the Seattle Supersonics. in 93, where they fell just one game short of reaching the NBA Finals. CP3, the third active player on here. Chris Paul may be without a team. The reports are that the Suns, first it said it was going to release him. Now it seems like they're going to try to trade him. But probably unlikely he will be on the Suns next season. Known as one of the best players not to win a championship, probably the best point guard maybe to never win a NBA championship. He's only reached one finals. That came in 2021 with the Suns, where they went up 2-0 against the Bucks, but the Bucks won 4 straight. He may even have more wins if he didn't have some playoff injury issues, or else he might even be higher up on this list. Tied with him, Jeff Hornacek, 14-year career. Hornacek was a member of those back-to-back Utah Jazz teams that reached the NBA Finals. Again, were unable to win either of them. But again, parts of many successful Jazz teams. Had some good runs with the Suns as well. Reggie Miller, not a surprise to see him up here. Reggie Miller, of course, one of the all-time sharpshooters in the league. Miller did reach one NBA Finals. A lot of guys on this list were on that Pacers team that lost to the Lakers. Had some conference finals appearances as well. 144 career playoff games. And then 2 guys are tied for 10th, so actually naming 11 guys. Starting with George Hill, so another active player, although his playing time has dwindled of late, not playing as much of a role. Unfortunately, he was a part of some Spurs teams, got traded in a deal that brought Kawhi Leonard when the year he was drafted to the Spurs, so never won a title with the Spurs. Was not on the Bucks championship team. Unfortunately, he was not a member of any of their championship teams. So he's played on teams that have won championships, just not with him. He had some long runs with the Pacers as well when they had Paul George, but again, unable to reach the total heights of a championship. And he was also a member of that Cavs team in 2018 that got swept by the Warriors. And another Pacer. I mean, how many Pacers were up here? Dale Davis, a one-time All-Star, very rugged player as a Knicks fan. I saw many battles in the 90s where Dale Davis and Charles Oakley would go after it. Dale Davis played in 137 playoff games. Another guy who was a part of that 2000 Eastern Conference championship team. Davis played a total of 137 games in the playoffs. So those are the 11 guys with the most playoff wins in NBA history without getting that ring. I'll quickly name the other guys who were listed. So if we start at number 12, Elgin Baylor, 72 wins. Patrick Ewing tied with them, 72 wins. Kyle Korver, 14th, 71 wins. Michael Finley, 15th, 69 wins. Charles Oakley, 16th, 68 wins. Mark Jackson, 17th, 65 wins. Uncle Spliffy, Clifford Robinson, 64 wins, 18th. Sir Charles Barkley, 19th, 62 wins. Tied with him, 19th. Caldwell Jones, 62 wins. Vlade Divac, 60 wins, 21st. Jimmy Butler, 22nd, 59 wins. If the Heat can extend the series but not prevail, he could gain a couple wins on here. Jaylen Brown, easily the youngest guy on here. 58 wins, 23rd, so way up the list, despite not a super lengthy career thus far. Paul Millsap, 24th, 57 wins, tied with him. Antoine Carr, Steve Nash also, and Anthony Johnson, 57 wins. Anthony Johnson was a second-string/third string point guard, most known with the Pacers, played a little bit with the Nets as well. But there you have it. The players who have the most wins in NBA history in the postseason without a ring. Again, guys like Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray, if they win tonight, will never have to see their name on a list like this. Don't forget to subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to subscribe. Like the video, share the video, hit the bell for notifications. I'm out.